the mountain has come. So there is a girl, if you see here, she has just taken some paper or sheets or any other thing which can be pressed. Now she placed her hand and pressed those hands inside, and this has folded, and this is only the mountain. The natural elevation of the soil, of the land, of the earth crust is called the mountain, and the base is quite higher and the peak can be smaller. So it is quite widely you can distinguish it from the nearby areas. And whenever you go up, it's cold. Whenever you go up the atmosphere, the temperature decreases. So I'll tell you how exactly it happens. There are two plates inside earth. When it combines, so the in between portion, it goes up. But if there is one portion and it cuts into two pieces, one goes on the left hand side, one goes on the other side, this portion will be sink. So you'll get a sink here. So the mountain and the sink, or I'll tell you, there are mountains which are formed by sink also. So there are certain places or mountains, as I said, high. If you go up high, it's free. Its temperature is quite lower. So we have frozen water there. That is glaciers, and these are the streams. Because of the extreme minus temperature, these glaciers, these streams are frozen. Ice you can call barf. So these barf dharaएं or ice streams are glaciers. These are glaciers. Okay, so it's just like a river only, but because of the temperature, it is not moving. But it will move as soon as the temperature goes up. So there are mountains inside the sea also. Mount Everest is above the sea level. But if you take the mean sea level of the water, there are mountains inside the sea also. You remember Titanic ship, and it was the biggest and humongous kind of vehicle, and it went an accident. It met with an accident because of these ice glaciers or the glaciers or the part of the mountain peak. So there are places where the climates are very harsh. Can you imagine you would like to live here? I don't think so. It's very cold. What are you going to eat? How are you going to study? How are you going to go there and come back? And how are you going to live in this such a cold weather? Okay, you can ask anyone who is in Kashmir, who is in say Mussoorie, what hardships, or in Pahad area, what hardships they feel. The slope is quite steep. How to go there? You cannot also grow any crop here. So there are you can just list them. There are number of problems here. That is why people live less in the less numbers. And as I said, this is the Pahad or mountain. We call them as mountain range. Mauna Kea, Hawaii, is in the Pacification, is the undersea mountain. It is higher than Mount Everest, being 10,205 meters high. Okay, remember this, Mauna Kea. So we have these mountain ranges. They are parallel ranges also, and they are almost equal height. Like we have Andes in South America. It starts from the upper part and it goes down till the end of South America. So we have two mountain ranges like Himalayas. Himalaya is in Asia. Himalayas is in Asia. Alps is in Europe, and the Andes is in South America. So let me show you all this so that you keep these in mind. So this is South America. On the left hand side, if you see, this is the mountain range, right from the start to end. It's the longest mountain range. Alps here in Europe. In Europe we have Alps, And here, Himalayan ranges, right from Kashmir point till the northern eastern states of India, this Himalayan range, and we have Bhutan and Nepal also in these ranges only. So these are all in lines, and there are how many types of mountains? Because they also have type. There are three type of mountains. The mountain first is fold mountain, second is block mountain, third is volcanic mountains. Right? Fold mountains, block mountains, and the volcanic mountain. So what is block mountain? We'll see just now. And the Himalayan mountains and the Alps. I told you. Now these are fold mountains, but these are young. Young means they are created. They just not 1 or 2 years or 10 years. It's thousands of years. But if you compare the history of universe, then they are still young, and they have a very rugged relief and high conical peaks. Rugged relief and high conical peak. This means the relief is not plain; it is rugged. It is rugged, not plain, and the peak is very sharp, very sharp. Himalayan ranges, and the second one, which is the Alps. So these Himalayan and Alps, these are quite younger. They have rugged relief, that is, relief is not straight, it has some breaks in it, and the peaks are very conical. If you come to Aravalli range, it's this is the place which I can point. These are the Aravalli range in India. These are very, very old mountain, very old mountain, and because of the erosion process, these are considerably worn out. Means they were very high. Because of the erosion over thousands of years, it has come down. If you see here, Appalachian in North America and the Ural mountain in Russia, let me show you. This is Appalachian in North America, and then we have here Ural mountains, and in between Russia, Asia and Europe, and they have rounded features, and the elevation or height or relief is not that high. They are also old fold mountains. As I said, two plates inside the earth crust, when they combine or when they come together, there will be a fold mountains. And there are others. There are two which are very high or sharp. Others are quite rounded, and they don't have that peak. It's like this. You don't get peak here. Peakness, there is no summit you can call. And there are old fold mountains. The second is block mountains. So what is the block mountain? So this is the block mountain. How does this form? There is a very big vast area, and big area it broke and it went down vertically. I'll show you how it happened. How does it happen? So the part which has gone down, which has broken, that is graben, and the part which remain like that, these are called horst, and this horst are only the mountains we are talking about. These are block mountains. The upper part which remained like that horst, the part which has gone down is graben, right? So we have two valleys I am going to show you, Rhine and Vosges. Rhine Valley and Vosges Mountain in Europe are the example of these block mountains. I'll show you both of them, but before that, let me explain you. So this is a plain surface or somewhat undulated surface, and over the years, because there are so many processes going on inside the earth, outside the earth, so this part broke and it went inside because it got the place to go inside. These places, this part, now it went down and it has settled down here. So now the portion has become like this. The portion has become like this. So this is the mountain. These are the mountains, and these are the valleys, mountain valleys. So let me show you the Rhine Valley in Europe and the Vosges mountain in Europe. These are block mountains. So this is the Orion Valley. You can clearly see the mountains and the valleys. Mountain and the valleys. So though this portion in between has gone down. And this Vosges in Europe is also of that kind. Vosges in Europe. So these are the mountains. These are block mountains. This comes under the category of block mountains. And volcanic mountains are formed due to volcanic activity. Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa and Mount Fujiyama, these are mountains formed by the activity of lava. So this is the Japan Fujiyama. These are what happens, the wall of the lava has to come out. The magma has to come out. Lava is magma. So when it comes out, it presses the ground to come out. It forces the ground. So it forces the ground, the zameen or the land goes like this. And when it comes out, this creates a mountain. It creates a mountain. So this is Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro is at Tanzania, the upper part of Tanzania. I'll try to give you the location right now. So this is Japan, Fujiyama, and then Africa, Tanzania, just below Kenya. That is the position of Mount Kilimanjaro. And these two are formed by the volcanic activity. Now the mountains are quite useful. The mountains, because what happens? Ganga, Jamuna all comes from mountains. So these mountains are actually the storehouses, our warehouses, storehouses for water. From the pahar, from the mountain only, various rivers comes to different plain parts. And most of these rivers are coming from the glaciers, which are actually on the mountain. And this water we can use for various activity. We can use it for drinking, we can use for making food, we can use it for washing clothing, means washing of clothes, utensils, and taking bath. And along with this, for if you take the individual use, drinking is there, washing utensils, these are individual use. But when we talk about a bigger purview, we are using it for irrigation. Sinchai, we use it for irrigation, sinchai, and also to generate the hydroelectricity. So this is very important. Mountain is very important and water is very important. So the river valleys and terraces are ideal situation where you can grow crops, cultivate the crops. And mountains have all the variety of plant and animal, that is flora and fauna. This is the river, and the place which is near this river is quite fertile. So mostly you see people live here, people tend to live here because the water is also here and the underground level water is also high. The underground water which is required for the plant to grow, this is also high. So the forest is providing us a lot of things. If you see fuel, fodder, shelter, there are different products along with the flora and fauna. So I was just trying to tell you what is the position of Kilimanjaro. This is the position. This is Tanzania, and the border, you can see just below the border of Kenya, you have this as, here you have Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro. And as I said, forest is a rich resource, what we get for our industries, what we get for us, fodder, fuel, shelter, we get gum, resins, what not all. Everything, most of the thing we are getting from the forest. Agriculture produced or forest produced, we get it from here. And one more thing, you work hard, then you go to Mussoorie, you go to Shimla, Mannar, Kashmir. Why do you go there? You go there to see the scenic beauty. You want to see the mountains, you want to see the beauty of the nature. So you want to do paragliding, you want to do hand gliding, river rafting, skiing, and these are not possible on the plain areas. These are only possible in the mountainous area. So this is the place for recreation also, and you want to refresh yourself. This is how mountain helps us in multiple ways. Let me show you what I just told you earlier. This is a volcanic mountain. This is again the Fujiyama, Mount Fujiyama. And this is the magma which is coming from inside or below the earth. Now it wants to come out, so it just presses. It presses the land. So it presses and the land goes up. This is how the lava comes. Now we talk about pathar or plateaus.